The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler, June 2nd. Saints Marcellinus and Peter, Martyrs. Marcellinus was a priest, and Peter an exorcist, both of the clergy of Rome, and eminent for their zeal and piety. In the persecution of Diocletian, about the year 304, they were condemned to die for their faith, and by a secret order of the judge, the executioner led them into a forest, that the holy men being executed privately, no Christians might be acquainted with the place of their sepulchre. When he had brought them into a thicket overgrown with thorns and briars, 3 miles from Rome, he declared to them his sanguinary commission. The saints cheerfully fell to work themselves, grubbed up the brambles, and cleared a spot fit for their sepulchre. After they were beheaded, their bodies were buried in the same place. Some time after, Lucilla, a pious lady, being informed by revelation, and assisted by another devout lady named Firmina, took up their bodies and honorably interred them near that of Saint Tiburtius on the Lavican road in the catacombs. Pope Damasus assures us that, when a child, he learned all these particulars from the mouth of the executioner himself, and he has inserted them in a Latin epitaph with which he adorned their tomb. Anastasius the librarian testifies from ancient registers that Constantine the Great built here a church in honor of these martyrs, in which he caused his mother Saint Helena to be buried under a porphyry tomb on the Lavican road 3 miles from Rome, and that he gave to this church a paten weighing 35 pounds of pure gold, with many other rich presents, which is also mentioned by Bede, Ado, and Sigebert. The porphyry mausoleum of Saint Helena is still shown among other antiquities near the Lateran Basilic. Honorius I and Adrian I repaired this church and cemetery of Saint Tiburtius and Saints Marcellinus and Peter, as Anastasius mentions. Not long after, the bodies of Saints Marcellinus and Peter were translated into Germany on the following occasion. Einhard, a German, the favorite secretary of Charlemagne, and his wife Emma, by mutual consent, made a vow of perpetual continency, and becoming a monk, was chosen abbot of Fontenelle, and in 819, abbot of Ghent. Emma died in 836 to his great affliction, as appears from the letters of Lupus, abbot of Ferrières, to him. This great man, in 827, sent his secretary to Rome to procure from Pope Gregory IV some relics of martyrs to enrich the monasteries which he had founded or repaired. The Pope sent him the bodies of Saints Marcellinus and Peter, which Einhard translated to Strasbourg. But soon after he deposited them first at Michelstadt, and afterwards at Mallenheim, since called Selgenstadt, 3 leagues from Frankfurt, and 2 from Acaflenburg, where in 829 he built to their honor a church and monastery, of which he died who first abbot. Besides the life of Charlemagne and the annals of France, during the reigns of Pepin, Charlemagne, and Louis Debonair, he wrote 4 books in prose and 1 in verse on the translation of Saints Marcellinus and Peter. This translation is also mentioned by Sigebert, Aimoinus, Rabanus Maurus, etc. Pope Gregory the Great preached his 20 homilies on the Gospels in the church of Saints Marcellinus and Peter at Rome, as appears from some of them, and from the testimony of John the Deacon.